What's up guys, this is Base Brawler, and in this video I thought I would decide to start doing these things that I'm going to be calling, backstory. Manga's backstory explained. And basically, I'm just going to explain each character and their backstory for the Final Power Level Warrior manga. Now just know that when it comes to Bullet and all that, he's not affiliated with this. The only thing that he brings to the table when it comes to my manga, which is pretty much the most important part, to say the least, is the characters and the game and all that. But when it comes to, like, the story writing and all that, and the characters' traits and everything, that's kind of where I come in. My story isn't the best. Like, I can easily admit that. However, I don't know. I just hope that there's some people out there who find it somewhat interesting. So anyway, I'm going to be going over Mysta's backstory before she enters in Power Level Warrior 2 manga. So, let's start out from birth. Mysta grew up, or not grew up. Mysta was born a princess. She was meant to be the heir to the throne on planet Xersha. Now, unlike Earth, like, Suno's a princess too, but she's only a princess of, like, a city. On the other hand, Mysta is the princess of a whole planet. Like, her heir to the throne is a whole entire planet. She inherits a whole planet. So, she was meant to grow up as the ruler of an entire planet. Of course, she would get married and, have a king as well. But before that happens, she was meant to be the ruler of an entire planet. That's crazy. And that's before she got her powers. So then she goes up to, or her parents want her to become stronger because she has an illness. Now, this may sound familiar. This backstory may sound familiar to Frozen, if that makes any sense. For those of you who've seen the movie Frozen. I know it's a princess movie, and I doubt people, like, watch a princess movie on my channel. I watched it, and it's one of my favorite Disney princess movies, but, again, it's a princess movie. So let me just explain what happens in that scenario. And I didn't really base it off that, but I did watch the movie before, so maybe my inspiration came from that. But anyway, so here's what basically happens. I think Elsa is sick or something. Again, I haven't watched this movie in a long time, so I might be wrong. And they go to this wizard, or these, like, group of trolls, and they give her this special power to control ice and all that. However, my story is a little different. So they go to this wizard who promises to heal her, their sick little child, Mysta. However, the wizard says, under one condition, you have to let me, my soul, you have to let me put my soul into her, basically. And the thing is, like, that's not saying that the wizard controls her or is, like, conscious in her. It's just the wizard's soul is living within her. And that's where she gets her power from. And so they're like, no at first. At first they're like, no, because, that's kind of weird. But they realize they have no other choice. The illness that she has can only be remedied through magic. So they heal her. They agree to the terms. So the wizard lives inside her. Okay, here's how it gets different from Frozen, though, as opposed to, like, events and such. So instead of her parents dying on a boat or whatever, and this is the last time I mentioned Frozen because I don't take any inspiration from Frozen afterward. Instead of her parents dying from, like a ship crash, I think that's what it was. Instead of that, her parents just get kicked out by King Mad. King Mad decides to take over because he feels like he would be a better ruler than them. And in some ways he is, because their economy does grow through King Mad's rule. However, the way it grows is through more control and more strictness, if that's even a word. So King Mad becomes a better ruler. And while the people are happy, what's going on within the kingdom isn't so well. So basically, King Mad notices that Mysta has magical powers because one day while they're at the dinner table, and with the king and the queen, the previous king and the queen, Mysta, her eyes start glowing, and she picks up a fork without moving a single ligament. Without moving a muscle, she moves a fork. And this is on accident. Think about it. She's a little girl. She doesn't know what she's doing. She lifts a fork. And King Mad's like, he's like, what the hell is going on here? So after he kicks out her parents, oh my gosh, I feel like this video is going to be like 30 minutes long. But Mirror's backstory is way longer when I do that video, which is next, of course. After her parents get kicked out, he decides to keep Mysta because she has magical powers. And he says, oh, she'll get along great with my son. And when he mentions that, he immediately thinks, yes, my son. She will marry my son one day. They're not related. Sure, they'll be brothers or they'll be siblings when it comes to like the kingdom and all that, and them having royal blood. However, they're not like directly siblings, if that makes any sense. They're like step siblings. So that happens. And then a few months later, King Mad finds Eon. He's just a little boy who got sent there through a ship because these scavengers found him. And then they sold him. And the king was like, great, take my money. Because the reward is a high price. Because King Mad senses a great power within Eon, his oldest son. So yes, Eon, when he was a baby, was taken by scavengers. And as he grew older, they sold them to King Mad. So then, time passes, everything. But here's where things get, kind of rigid, I guess. King Mad isn't exactly the nicest father to Mysta. He's not the nicest father figure. King Mad's main, his main incentive, I'm trying to think of the word. His main purpose or whatever, I'm trying to think of the word, I can't think of it. What's important to him more than Mysta is Prince Art, his blood son. So Mysta has to do stuff for Prince Art because he's training her to be docile, basically. He's training her to come to his needs. Well, I have no words in my brain dictionary right now. None. And while that's happening, see, because of how long it's taking me to talk, like, it's not coming out as well as I wanted it to, but... So basically, Prince Art can do whatever the hell he wants. And Mysta has to, like, do dishes for them, clean their beds and all that. Basically do stuff that girls back in the day would normally do. And she did not like that at all. However, who wasn't okay with that, or the one person who was not okay with what Mysta was doing was Eon. Eon was there for Mysta when she felt like shit, basically. She's like, no one cares about me. They're just making me do this stuff, and I don't get rewarded for it. But Mysta's like, not Mysta, Eon's like, no, Mysta. Like, you're worth more than that. And I'll find a way to get us out of this situation. because they were both adopted by the royal family. So basically, Eon is her caretaker in a way, and he tries his best to make her happy, to make her think that life is worth living, because it is. And she doesn't think so, but he reminds her. I'm crying, guys. I'm crying talking about this. Like I have tears coming up in my eyes. Um. So yeah. So then here's where most of you guys will probably hate Prince Art. While Mysta is 14 and Prince Art is 20, he's 20. Eon is 23, and he knows that Mysta is not in the right mindset to want to do something like this. Especially the way that Prince Art does it. You guys probably already read this in the manga. Okay? So here we go. Prince Art rapes her. He rapes her. He rapes Mysta. Or, in a way, because she's a minor, he molests her. He does it. He does you know what with her. Without her consent. What does Eon do? When King Mad tells him not to interfere and do anything with Mysta, he does nothing. He doesn't even care to Mysta anymore because she's asking him to do stuff all the time, constantly. She's saying, "We should leave, help me leave, get me out of this situation. I don't want to marry Prince Art." And Eon is so afraid for his life that he refuses to aid her. He refuses to make her feel better. And so it's the day of the wedding, and Mysta does not want to marry Art because of what he did to her. However, oh my gosh, I don't know why I wrote this story like this. However, the dress she tried on was too small. Because this is set in Power Level Warrior 2, if you guys don't know. Parrot and Sinuba are talking to each other. Because her waist is too big. Now, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. Her butt is too fat. So, it rips and tears, and they have to wait for the next day, because they want it to be all, good and formal. Even though King Mad and Prince Art, they're like, whatever, it's just a tear. I mean, she's showing off her, what. They don't care, because they're like that. They're afraid that everyone else will see them as savages, and, like that. So they're like, you know what, yeah, let's make it more formal, and we'll fix her dress up. We'll make it bigger. We'll tailor it. So, on that night, Mysta's crying in her room, and she's very vulnerable. Because she does not want to marry him. And she's thinking, this must be a sign. This must be a sign. There has to be a way out. Guess what her way out is? A dark spirit controls her. The same spirit that wanted to encompass the wizard's body that was within her all along. Not within her. That was... Yeah, actually I was right. Because I thought I was talking about the soul for a second. The wizard's body that was within her all along gets corrupted. Therefore, she gets corrupted. And she becomes Mysta the Wondrous Witch. And she rains hellfire on planet Xersha. That's why in the manga, there's a half of Xersha blown up. That's what Rice says. He's like, hey, there's half of it is blown up and the other half looks all nice. Because Mysta rained hell on the other half. She destroyed villages. She killed millions of people. And I'm talking millions. This planet isn't as, populated as Earth. But it's still pretty damn populated. There's people living there. A lot of people. And she just kills them all. And so they're thinking, this is the princess that was about to get married to this, so they thought, this innocent guy. And she's just killing everyone. And they're like, this doesn't seem right. But they don't care. They try to fight back, and Mysta's like, screw you. You just signed your own death warrant. So she continues killing everyone. And then King Mad, Prince Art, and even Eon try to stop her. but she's too powerful. And so they try to escape the planet, and she does not follow them because she wants them to think that they're safe. She wants all of them to think that they're safe because once they have their guard down, it's her time to attack. And that's how Power Level Warrior 2 plays. Is Mysta is waiting for the perfect time to attack and defeat, the royal family, but she doesn't want to do it right away because she knows that she could slip somehow. She wants to plan it out perfectly in order to make them fall easier. And so when she notices Rice, Ricette, and Risotto's little interference, that's when she gets the light bulb to go, hey, you know what? I could use them for my plans. And so that's pretty much the whole plot of Power Level Warrior 2. Is Mysta's like, yeah, I got these guys under my strings. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's, again, me playing this level so that I can, just level up my characters faster. I will do one of these for Lionel, maybe by the time he comes out, because I want to try to do these at least once or twice a day. I just want to get these backstories out so that you guys can connect with the characters a little more in my manga. Just kind of know what they went through. But anyway, so that was the backstory of Mysta. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that may be. Goodbye. I did not say whenever very well, did I?